Alright, so the next one I have is Battlefield Earth. I've actually intentionally sort of skipped this one until towards the end of this marathon thing, because I hadn't seen it before. I think I'd seen clips of it before, but and I've heard this one's really bad, so I was looking forward to it. And as a bad movie, this is a good bad movie to enjoy. I personally think that. The plot is nonsense. There is some way over the top acting, really bad effects, really bad editing and transitions. It's, sort of everything you kind of want from a really good bad movie. Lots of egos involved, lots of weird behind the scenes stuff. Yeah, it's pretty great. So to start with, Battlefield Earth is based on a novel, at least the first half of a novel by L. Ron Hubbard, which comes to how this movie came to be. John Travolta, who is known as a very, very Scientologist-y Scientologist, wanted to make this movie for years and years and years and wasn't able to get anybody to commit to doing it. L. Ron Hubbard, of course, also the founder of Scientology, as well as a science fiction writer. There's not a coincidence there, I don't think. So yeah, John Travolta got this thing made eventually. This was around, I think this released in year 2000, and you will see a lot of influence from movies from around that time in the movie, which they don't do very successfully. Apparently, I think it's a German company decided to pick it up, and then there was a bunch of potential fraud involved in there with them sort of taking the money and then making the movie as cheaply as possible, and you can tell with the effects and stuff. There's also some shenanigans with multiple writers involved that managed to produce this madness. One of the initial screenwriters, actually one of the few people that's ever accepted a Razzie, and basically saying that this is not what I wrote. It got sort of destroyed after the fact. But yeah, there's a lot of interesting stuff around this movie. It lost a lot of money, it cost a lot of money, and it still looks super cheap. It looks a lot like a sci-fi original in a lot of ways. But anyway, let's jump into it. John Travolta and Forrest Whitaker are both playing evil aliens called Cyclos in this. Cyclos are a race that has defeated humanity, and we are more or less enslaved. This is set in the year 3000. The subtitle of the movie is like A Tale from the Year 3000 or something. Yeah, the humans all sort of... Yeah, the humans are really dull in this. There's a handful of, surviving people you're following. The main character is technically one of the humans, who is abnormally competent at things, and for reasons that don't make much sense, the Cyclos eventually train him to be able to do stuff so that they can exploit them for labor, and he becomes like a master of things and discovers our functional military is underground, and apparently the fighter jets still work. Doesn't make much sense. Anyway, the plot is what I'm getting into there, is madness. John Travolta's character, Turl, is basically caught in the cruel gears of bureaucracy and is given the shit job of dealing with Earth and wants to get back at people for doing that to him. And Forrest Whitaker is his ever-treacherous lackey. They both mostly do a lot of evil laughing and hammy dialogue, and constantly underestimate humans, to a comical level. And they're really where the entertainment value is the two of them and their shenanigans. Unintentionally, of course, but they're very, very entertaining. Just horrible. As far as some other technical stuff that's bad, special effects, it really feels like, because this came right on the heels of The Matrix, that they tried to sort of, after the fact, make this more Matrix-y. There's a lot of sort of green filter coloring stuff. There's a lot of slow-mo when there doesn't need to be slow-mo. Yeah. The special effects also look really, really bad in general. When they try them, clearly they were going cheap, like when you see laser blasts and stuff like that, it just always looks really bad. Transitions are really trying to throw back to Star Wars, with sort of wipes, except instead of the typical Star Wars wipe, this uses curtain wipes, which are usually kind of weird. and really don't fit in. They're really distracting and really slow, and just look weird, and they overuse them a lot. Which is sort of a theme of the movie, of overusing things and just doing them to death. Dutch angles. Almost the entire movie is filmed at some sort of Dutch angle, in the sense that it's like a few degrees off in one direction or another, which is supposed to like make the scene either more tense or the audience uncomfortable because it's a jarring angle. But when you use it constantly, it makes your whole movie jarring, and it's just bad. Yeah, so the movie's really bad, but it's one of those movies that I think is hilarious at how much they got wrong. Is pretty entertaining. Yeah, pretty much everything you look for in an entertainingly bad movie. Interesting narratives behind the scenes, incompetence on the part of the filmmaker, excessive over-the-top acting by the part of the people in front of the camera, and also a whole lot of ego is wrapped up in this, and you love to see somebody with an excessive ego get taken down by a failure of a movie. So yeah, it's got really just about everything you're looking for in a good bad movie. So yeah, I think apart from the only thing that I think is sort of a side effect, and this is really what makes or breaks a lot of movies that are bad and go into so bad it's good territory, is pacing. And this pacing is not great, and that is its only significant weakness as a good bad movie. It has a lot of weaknesses as just a movie, but as a good bad movie, the pacing's the only thing really hurting it. Yeah, I probably won't watch it again unless I'm with like people that are wanting to watch a bad movie. And yeah, I mean, there's laughs to be had in it, but the pacing will get at you. The plot is mind-numbing. The actions of characters are just madness. So it's kind of, you know, it's fun. It's pretty fun. Battlefield Earth.
When we attacked your planet, all your soldiers and all their advanced technology could only put up a measly 9-minute fight, which is why man is an endangered species. There's nothing that will help you.
Once we finish mining out this miserable little planet, let's do the universe a favor. Let's exterminate a lot of them.
If we don't take back our planet, the last of humanity becomes extinct. Let it be said that we took this one chance and fought!